like Miami. Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to the Heat Beat Podcast. I'm Mr. Carlo Navas. With me today, as my voice comes back to normal, Frankie G.
We have enough.
2K coach, host of Pre-Gaming. We have enough. Listen, chat says hashtag crush the Corgi. You know what? You're so right. I'm going to put that in the Chiron. That is 100% true. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Let me see. I'm going to hashtag trust. Okay, that's a lot of words. Hashtag trust the Corgi. I don't know if you guys
spelled it right in the first try.
I know. Oh, I was looking right at it. For those of you who don't know, in the audience, or if you're a podcast listener, there's a Corgi on Twitter who is picking games by they throw the Corgi a little basketball, and the Corgi knocks the ball into one of two baskets for every series. And this fucking Corgi is on a hot streak right now. And the Corgi says Heat in 6. The Corgi says Heat in 6. So Frankie, that begs the question. Do we trust the Corgi?
I had Heat in 6 from the beginning of the series. I couldn't reveal it because we have to make game-to-game predictions in pre-gaming. But with it, if you ask Lou, I said Heat in 6 before the series. I respect the Knicks. I think they gave different problems than the Bucks did, and then obviously with the Jimmy injury, it definitely helped secure my pick. I think if Jimmy never gets hurt, this very easily could have been done in Heat in 5, but.
It's Jimmy in 5, as Alf said.
Yeah,
it's Jimmy in 5.
Himmy
in 5. So shout out to What Fig says, resubscribe at Prime, 14 months. We love you. Says, can't wait for tips to figure out how to play 4 guys 60 minutes next game. That'll be really funny. I see Tasty Tanker says Tatum playing like Prime Denzel Washington right now. Ultimate, he is not him game ever. Saw Brady Hawk on Twitter say, I hope this puts the Jimmy and Tatum things to rest. It won't. Oof. As Paul George is still mentioned in the same breath as Jimmy, but you never know. Also, what Fig said Corgi's name is Scott Foster. So, guys, we're just gonna get in and out real quick. You know, we just wanted to do a show. I would have done a show earlier, but I went to yoga. Shout out to Flow State at Mint Body Studio. They're the goats down here in Miami. If you live in the Kendall Bird Road area, check them out. Mondays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. with Rosie. My goat. That's a free plug for Rosie, my goat. But I'm refreshed. I've shavasanaed. Frankie, I have enlightenment.
Oh,
as
hear it.
At the end of a yoga practice, you know, after you're dead, you really, your soul has left your body from the amount of strenuous work you just did, and you lay in a shavasana, which is essentially it's basically grown up nap time after yoga. And you hear like the sound bowl, and really, it's like your soul leaves and comes back to your body. And I realized some things about this series. You know, the Heat are better than the Knicks.
Wow.
And I think we know that through 6 games, or through 5 games, I should say. We get a 6th game at home. That doesn't mean they're going to win, but I do, Frankie. There are not many cards to play for either team. I thought one of the things New York did yesterday was they got into early offense for Brunson, and they tried to eliminate the amount of help that Miami could send his way. So by speeding up the offense, you have some guys trailing in transition. You were able to kind of minimize some things, and I thought that really helped him. I thought Jimmy's kind of injury kind of limited his work at the nail, which we talked about a lot. Randall had a good shooting night, which I think he's super up and down. On the road is going to be pretty tough. But I think given all that we know, I think the Knicks, Frankie, have not presented a problem that is unsolvable to Miami. And I think that matters a lot in playoff basketball.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is the first time Thibs has gone this deep in a series versus Spo. I don't think we
That's
can talk.
so
We can
true.
mention that enough. This is the third time they've matched up, and this is the first time it's gone past 5. But this is the Thibs thing. He has one move. He's not going to change. He doesn't have many things to switch it up on. He's going to be very conservative as a coach. Yeah, he plays guys a lot more. That's his go-to. He plays less guys. That's his other go-to. It's all right. I normally run 9 guys. Today we're running 7. Like that's what he does. Like you said, they've really matched up well with this team. Like credit to the Knicks, they're a good, solid team. I just think they've shown time and time again that they're really inexperienced, and in the playoffs that really matters. You've talked extensively about the I think it was Kevin Arnovitz's tweet, "Grown man win series,
grown ass men win championships,"
and exactly. But these playoffs have really shown that the emotional maturity matters, and like if you've been around the sport, like you know how crucial the I can't get past you just did that live on stream. God damn it.
I finally got it. I've been trying to get it for days.
For the pod audience, G just put like some anime figure on his mic.
It's my Vivi Nendoroid, and she is my wife.
Jesus Christ. No! I hate it. Now, I think there's a lot of emotional maturity that the Knicks are lacking overall. You've seen it with Randall, especially. He has horrendous body language. He has horrible attitude. I've never seen a star player in quotations, because that's a New York Knicks star, get booed in a home game in the playoff like that. Like as when he's checking in, like the Knicks team wasn't even standing for him at that point. Barrett's had moments too where he's lost his head way too easily, and like you don't see that with the Heat. They're cool. They're composed. Kyle, will go at a ref every time, for every fucking call. But they're, for the most part, like it never affects their play and their effort. I thought last night they had some moments though that they kind of waited on the Knicks to quit, and it didn't look like they were ready to snatch that game like with the intensity needed, and that second and third quarter really showed that they gave the Knicks life, and they had it's hard to climb out of a 90-point hole on the road, especially when you're struggling to shoot. So I think they learned from that. Hurt. And your star player is really limited from what.
And your second star player has a fucking busted hand,
and he can't do much because nobody's hitting shots, and he can't move inside because of that. But I think they shoot better next game. Jimmy's gets another day off and hopefully looks a lot better and healthier, and they take this momentum and to try to finish the series now.
A couple things to chat. Number one, my waifu is not Walmart Miku. Fuck you. It's just Vivi is so much better than Hatsume Miku. Okay. Number two, Skinny McGee says, "Is that Hannah?" No, that's not Hannah. That's Vivi. Hannah, hey, call me babe.
Hannah.
Miss her so much. Man, Nashville. Oh, even Frankie, you don't get it. You weren't there. You weren't there. You weren't there. I agree with everything you said.
You just reminded me of a story with this lady named Hannah too. And she was this Brazilian older lady, like I'm talking like our parents' age difference here. And she was a manager at this beach this beach hotel in West Palm. And she would always give. She was friends with my cousin, so she gave us a lot of like discounts and stuff. We would always stay there for like weeks for the summer and for spring break and shit. Right on the beach, great. Well, she had a very thick accent, and one time, we're staying there, and she brings a plunger for me, and she's because the bathtub won't drain, and I have to like pump it. And she's talking to my uncle. He's like, "Oh, Hannah, you lost a lot of weight. You look great." She goes, "I got a Cuban boyfriend. He is bleeping the hell out of me." I'm losing so much weight. And then she's saying this while I'm pumping the plunger in the bathtub.
Yeah, pump and go.
And then she's going, I can't concentrate, obviously, because what the hell is, I'm like 17, yeah. And there's this lady's talking like this. And when she turns to me mid-conversation, she goes, faster. And
she did that on purpose.
The image, obviously. So that's my Hannah story.
Yeah. Well, that's my Hannah story is We're not going to get into that. You can sub to the Patreon for that, for the extra story.
Hey.
Listen, this is the only analysis you get here. I think it's funny how, like, I fancy ourselves some of the better X's and O's people doing content out here. And I fancy the podcast. It's really changed. The pod used to be goofy. Now Hangover Time is a goofy one, right? The pod is now serious basketball talk. And I'm glad that we're going back to our roots and talking shit and saying inside jokes from Hangover Time about this white woman named Hannah that people are claiming it's a fiction of my imagination. Last thing from Chad, we'll get back into it. Schmeeth and Smolnik says, your admiration for white women, Terry Crews. And then said, G went from hentai to Heather. Hentai to Heather is a fantastic line.
That's so
Frankie,
good.
the one thing I noticed from the game that to me kind of voided the rest of the result. I'm not on Twitter, so I'm not gonna boisterous shit I don't believe. Jalen Brunson played excellent. He's a very good player. I have really underestimated him all year. He's really good. He's a good scorer. He's strong.
Cute season.
Cute season. Now you bet your ass that if the Heat win tomorrow, I'm tweeting out cute with a GIF or something. I haven't planned out if they win, but he's good. He's good, and in an elimination game, on your home floor against a team that has kind of overwhelmed you, for you to put up that kind of performance is pretty big time. Playing all those minutes, especially Randall got his eye poked. And they're banged up too. Mitchell Robinson has a bad hip. He's playing on a bad ankle as well. Randall got poked in the eye and is playing on like a fucked up ankle. So everybody's banged up this time of year. No excuses, but just shout out to Jalen Brunson for, really. And he did it. He didn't just do it off like he hit a bunch of threes. It was like putting his head down and going to the basket, kind of doing it the hard way. So just want to give a quick shout out to Jalen Brunson. But Frankie, what I actually want to talk about was they were doubling Jimmy off every pick and roll. Mm-hmm. And Bond and I talked about this on our spaces today. He just got off the ball way too late. And they at the end of that game, it'd be like Duncan or Kyle screening for him, and they flare. And Jimmy has to know to get rid of the ball as soon as that second guy comes, so that those guys can get a wide open shot, or better they get in rotation. And he just was out of it yesterday in a way that was a little strange. Put up a good stat line, but just didn't make the right choices. And I thought that was kind of the difference in the game.
Yeah, we've talked about this a lot, about how a lot of the issues with the starting lineup when they would get into trouble is when they would hold on to the ball too long. And it wasn't just Jimmy. It was Bam. It was Tyler.
It was Duncan.
It was Duncan. Like it would stagnate a lot. And that's why when Kyle's in, he does a really good job of making sure the ball moves side to side. And
unless it's Kyle time.
Yeah, unless it's Kyle time. But Jimmy, I definitely think Jimmy was out of sorts. I've never seen him make like so many bad decisions on both ends yesterday. Like he had a really good night in the box score, really good Jimmy game in the box score. But if you saw, there were so many breakdowns and that were like not Jimmy Butler-esque. Like he wasn't blowing shit up. They went to a hack of Mitch Robinson.
When has Spo ever done that?
I don't remember that in all of Spo's tenure. I didn't even remember
the regular season Spo doing
that. Like even a troll. I don't remember Spo doing that. But it's
Did
just.
Did anybody ask him about that?
No, nobody holds him accountable.
That's Alex and Brady's job. Somebody got to ask him tomorrow at shoot around. Can somebody pregame? Hey, Alex or Brady. I don't know if those people listen to this podcast. Well, Alex does. I don't know if Brady. Brady's big time. If one of you listen, Ethan, somebody, Ramil, Anthony, Ira, Barry. No way, Barry. Download
Anthony Chang.
Anthony Chang, who didn't vote Bam Adebayo, top 3 defensive player of the year. You are exposed, sir. Tim Reynolds. No way, Tim Reynolds listens to this podcast. Any one of you fucking media people, can you ask Spo tomorrow what the thinking was? Unless you already did, and then just let me know. Van Hype says Barry would ask Spo with no regard for human life. I don't think you guys have not seen Barry and Ira in a scrum the way I have. That shit is art. That shit is. You don't know what it's like when Dwayne Wade's in the locker and they gotta get to Dwayne, because the way it works is like Dwayne is at his locker, and then obviously everybody wanted to talk to Dwayne, and then it's like the rest of us fight for scraps. It's like, oh, it's just Jay Rich. You think maybe I could get Jay Rich today or something? You know what I mean? But Dwayne and Barry and Ira are like the Mitchell Robinson and Hartenstein against the Cavs, they'll like fucking bulldoze everybody for like, to get good position to offensive rebound or get good question asking for Dwayne. It's great. It was honestly like watching Jokic, like seeing them go like tit for tat for question is truly like Jokic versus Booker in that third quarter. The other day.
I picture G doing a compilation like the Knicks fans on Bam's dirty plays with this.
Yeah, Knicks fans are focusing on Bam's. Knicks fans went to Twitter and they took video of every play that they called dirty, quote unquote, by Bam.
Or Frankie, a moving screen.
Yeah, or a moving screen. Which, I don't know what's funnier. The dirty plays, I'm like, I think it's kind of lame, but whatever. The moving screen thing is sad. That's what like Rockets fans used to do to Draymond Green. And I was like, I'm old enough to remember when we made fun of them for doing that. And you're no different.
Cowards.
And they're like, Heat fans complain about the officials too. Okay, but when we make fun of Scott Foster, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like,
and everyone hates Scott Foster.
Everyone hates Scott Foster. The fact, bro, he's called the Extender. Like, he has a nickname. Like, yeah, we're going to make fun of Scott Foster because it's fucking funny. Like, Knicks fans are like, you do it too. And I was like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you people as to why calling Scott Foster the Extender is funny and you taking hours out of your life to make a moving screen compilation is sad. If you don't get that, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
It's awful, man. Scott,
and Vane Hype's right. The Rockets fans were conference contenders. This team's a second round exit.
Yeah, this is a dream season for the Knicks. This is like a banner year. They're going to be talking about this for decades until the next time they make it in the second round.
Frankie, I feel like Miami gave like these fans like happiness for like another 2 days, and I hate that.
Dude, they got beat by Trae Young, and they were out on the streets for the one game they won.
Why are they still saying fuck Trae Young like you beat him? He beat you.
He owns you.
Fuck Trae Young on like Side Talk, and I'm like, you guys are chanting that like you guys won, and they're like, yeah, Tom Brady, fuck you. And it's like, well, Tom Brady. Well, I guess if they're Giants fans, I don't know. Depends.
It's so funny that they're going on the internet, considering their last championship was before the internet. Like, be serious. For like this fandom doesn't make sense.
Was Paula Abdul even a Laker girl when they won their last championship?
There are Hall of Famers who weren't born the last time the Knicks won a championship. 1973. That's before my mother was born.
That's crazy. So like,
it's wild.
Frankie wasn't even like a thought.
No.
Frankie wasn't even a dream.
No.
This beautiful Cuban Dominican man that's just before you wasn't even.
You can see my fucking cat in the background on the shelf.
That cat wasn't even born yet.
That cat definitely wasn't born. That fucking devil. She-devil over there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Knicks fans are weird. They're fighting with me. Somebody told me Gainesville's a nicer city than Miami. I've heard it all today. Frankie, I've heard it all today. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I've heard that Gainesville shit since we were in like high school with people in UF defending. Oh, it's great. But you moved back as soon as you graduated. You moved back to Miami, didn't you?
I hate the Gators, bro. I don't even I'm like not a Canes fan. Like I went to FIU and like I don't know. I didn't grow up a Canes fan, so like I don't care about them. But like, man, I'll fucking ride with I like probably don't like the Canes because I think Canes fans are annoying as an FIU student. But I will fucking bleed orange and green if they play the Gators. Fuck the Gators, bro. Fuck FSU too.
Tebow.
I don't like FSU.
You shouldn't.
I don't like them. At least the Hurricanes are like a respectable bad ACC team.
Jonathan Isaac went to FSU. Okay, so that's enough said.
Well, not to steer too far in another direction with Jonathan Isaac, but I saw that Aaron Rodgers is making his debut as a Jet on 9/11.
Oh,
I don't know if Frankie, you're a Packer fan. Are you familiar with his 9/11 game?
No.
Aaron Rodgers once told the New Yorker to do some research on 9/11.
Oh God.
On his team, on the Packers.
Man, I hate that guy now. He's literally the reason I became a Packers fan, and I can't stand him.
It's so over, dude. And then the other thing, and the owner of the Jets is a pharmaceutical guy. So the fact that he's in the center of the pandemic on 9/11 for a pharmaceutical guy as Aaron Rodgers is like, I saw a tweet. It's like, you can't tell me the NFL is not scripted. That's
It's
just
beautiful.
Jags in 5. But Frankie, last thing I want to close on, hashtag trust the Corgi, is, let's step away from like basketball and X's and O's and all that shit. Let's talk about the fact that it is May 11th, and the Heat are playing games that matter, and the Heat have a chance. I
thought that's what all it was. You were just reflecting on that. No, the Heat are still alive right now.
Somehow, through all odds.
Let's take a moment to gather.
Let's take a moment. No, honestly, let's take a moment. And Frankie, I may be presumptuous, but I was gonna go to Cape Cod in June. I had to cancel that trip because I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know where they're gonna be in 2 weeks, and you can't say for certain. And the fact that we're having this conversation and that this is happening, I think it's a testament to the players. I don't want to give the organization too much credit, but they went out and got Kevin Love, and they signed Caleb Martin to a long-term deal. So good for them. But and suppose the fucking madmen of madmen. But Frankie, man, it's crazy. Like, it's such a shit season, and that they're playing games that matter with a shot at the conference finals and potentially the finals. That's crazy, dude. It's what Jimmy deserves. Everybody upped their game for the playoffs. Spo upped his game. And, whatever happens, happens. I think they're going to win tomorrow. I hope I don't eat those words. But at the end of the day, losing to I'm just stunned that we're here. And I'm fucking proud of this group. Without Hero.
I thank you for bringing up Tyler, because I also forgot to mention that I felt yesterday was the first time they really missed Tyler.
Yeah.
Well,
that in game 2, I think.
I think more so this game.
Yeah,
because I think game 2, I still think game 2 they lost because of defensive breakdowns at the end. I think they had enough offensively. They just had a couple rebounding breakdowns and defensive breakdowns that ultimately cost them at the end. But this game where they had more lulls offensively, and I felt like they really missed Tyler's just consistency in his spots where the Knicks give up the mid range and stuff like that. So I do want to just give him credit real quick. And yeah, like Spo was a good coach before the Big Three, during the Big Three, after the Big Three. When he became like a amazing coach, like and by good coach, great coach, whatever you want to call it, he was a top 5, top 10 coach in the league, no matter what you call it. I really think the 30-11 is when he became McGyver. Like, give him any kind of fucking roster and he's gonna figure it out. That's where he really had to like grow and learn from all his mistakes and make something out of it. And
really
like ever since then,
McGyver of coaches.
Like Pat and the front office say, "Hey, we're gonna give you chicken shit. I want exquisite, divine dinner
He's
tonight."
that Instagram guy. Have you seen him where they're like, or the TikTok guy, and they're like, "Hey, make my Chick-fil-A gourmet."
Yeah, exactly. He literally spoke. Like Spo, Pat is going, "Hey, I've got thyme, I've got a half a garlic, I've got this, I've got day old ham. Make this into Alexa. What can I cook with this?
A kind of bad avocado.
Yeah,
a little oxidized,
a little too brown for that. And he's just not ready to let it go because he's like, I can make something out of this. But that's Spo. Like, credit to Spo, he's done an insane job. I don't think there's any coach in the league that could have pulled this roster with this season together and had this kind of run. Credit to the players too. Like, they've obviously stepped up and had to defend the likes of Giannis and Drew Holiday and Brooke and all these guys.
When the lights were brightest, Frankie, they played their best.
Yeah. And they've been fantastic these playoffs. Hopefully it continues to tomorrow, close this shit out. But, you do have to take a moment in the moment to really just appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just appreciate it. Like these, when you're looking at an 11-30 roster 7 years ago and or whenever it was, when you're looking at that and you're seeing fucking a lot of Luke Babbitt, you're like, when is this ever going to end? And, now you're playing meaningful basketball because Jimmy Butler wanted to be here. And Bam's grown into an all-star defensive player of the year contender. Only player in the last to be top 5 in DPOY voting all the last 4 years. Not Giannis hasn't done that.
Really?
Kawhi
Not even
hasn't
Dwight
done that.
Howard?
No, definitely not. No, in the last 4 years. I don't know
Okay,
about
okay.
before.
I was like, wait. I was like, Dwight didn't do that?
No. I mean, like current guys. Like
That's crazy.
Draymond hasn't done that.
That's testament to that motherfucker.
That's consistency, man. And he made himself into something. All these undrafted guys making a career out of nothing and working.
Duncan was left for dead. And
Duncan was a backup in college.
Duncan. We were ready. We were all fucking ready to trade him for like a negative contract.
Except for Alf.
Apparently
Alf
the
never
Sixers
wavered.
are evaporating right now. Oh,
yeah.
baby.
Tatum with the lead. Oh, God. James Harden just threw up on himself. I loved it.
Let's go.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
my God.
We go to a game 7.
Oh, baby. Hope that's not us tomorrow.
Oh.
Hey, the other guy, Frankie, Kyle fucking No! Hey, waifu. Kyle fucking Lowry. Get her right here.
Kyle's been great, man.
Kyle has been the guy that I wanted.
I real quick, you mentioned this in the spaces too, but them not going to Kyle, them like taking Kyle out on the 5th foul and not getting him back sooner, I think really cost him the game.
I wish they had challenged that. I don't know. I'm not a ref, right?
That 4th foul, yeah, the charge.
And that's a hard call to make if you're a coach, because every guy thinks they got there on time. You know
Especially Kyle.
Especially Kyle. It's like he's the motherfucker that cried wolf. But I saw that and I was like, damn, he was there.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. I think he was there. He was stationary. He was striking. Like I think that was more like a 60-40 call at worst. That they got the wrong way. So I think Spo should have challenged it. But he's always saving those. They don't stack, Spo. They don't stack.
Whatever. I get wanting to keep the timeout. I think in that instance, I normally like keeping the time. I think you keep it for like some fucking momentum changing late call that like is make or break for you. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But man, listen, people were calling him their least favorite Heat player ever. That was not. People were like, I don't like him more than Hassan. You know what I mean? Like, this was not. Yeah. People fucking said he was the worst contract in Heat history. There's been a lot of bad contracts, and not that recently.
Like on the current roster.
Like, dog, like on the current roster, like fucking right before Jimmy got here. Jimmy was one of those guys left in one of those. Like, you know what I mean?
Jimmy
like,
got traded for one of those bad, horrible contracts.
And I don't think anyone feels that way anymore. I think that fans have kind of seen him for who he is. And he's not, he'll make enough shots when he's healthy, but it goes beyond the box score. The impact is there. And I said this in the spaces. There's like a play where Randall gets an offensive rebound in the middle of their run and Lowry strip. That's so huge. Get the ball back and run. And he pushes pace as the low man. And Miami uses him as that last weak side rotation man a lot. Kind of rotates, strip. Not even
Charge.
He doesn't even have to make a play on the ball because he's such a threat doing that. The guys have to the offensive player has to readjust, and it lets Jimmy or Bam or somebody, Caleb, get there in time so they can put 2 on the ball. And they know that they can't put the ball back down. And they're under duress. And he just makes winning play after winning play. And I'm so happy that Heat fans know that I'm not a crazy person, like, as to why I love him. Because he's done shit like that his whole career. And it's so fucking annoying. But when it's on your team, you're just like, how does he keep doing this? And I'm just happy that at 37 years old, you're obviously seeing a diminished version of what he's been, but steps up when he needs to. You can see he has a pull-up game. He can get to the lane. Frankie, he's drawing help on his drives.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he's driving. He's getting by people. He's being crafty, using his body. He's putting it. Anytime they go over the screen in pick and roll, he's putting them in jail and being crafty, being like vintage Kyle at times. Not consistently, but there are spurts of it, and you can see it. You can't draw it all the time. You can't play. He's not going to be the 17-8 guy he was in his prime with elite defense. But he's being a leader and he's making winning plays.
In the minutes that matter, everybody wants him on the floor. And I think that's huge and big time. So I love my guy. I want to give him a shout out. And the whole team, bro. They're awesome. Game 7, Game 6. Excuse me.
Don't jinx it. Damn.
Game 6. A Corgi. Hashtag trust a Corgi. Game 6
Trust
tomorrow in Miami. I tried to look at tickets. They are $500.
That's why you need to connect.
Chat says Kyle fucking straight up chucks on drives when he crashes under the basket. They're 100% field goal percentage. Absolutely. That's the Kyle. My favorite Kyle move is the one where you're talking about, like, they go over the screen and he fucking hit the brakes and the guy crashes into his hip and then he pulls up for a jumper and he gets a foul. It's so fucking. It's so. If I'm a player, like, it happened to Josh Hart like twice. He was so fucking annoyed. He's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me, because he just sticks his fat ass out and you just fucking you crash into it.
My favorite is when he hits the shot, and gets the foul call, and like gives you a nice little fist bump. Like, yeah, been doing that for years.
Or he'll fall like on his chest a lot, and like he'll just like slap the floor. Like, yeah, like he looks like a Magikarp. Like,
I don't think the Heat have had, like, listen, the Heat have had some elite whiners. Like, Dwayne Wade is a Hall of Fame whiner. Like, there were plays where in the finals where Dwayne didn't get a call, and 3 plays have gone by, and Dwayne hasn't moved from the ref side.
Do you remember against Oklahoma City the first year LeBron was here? He did not get a call. He did not get a foul call. It was a late game situation. He didn't get a call. He's screaming at the ref. They're about to tee him up, and he fucking punches the fucking thing that holds up the backboard. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking Dwayne Wade, baby.
Dwayne's so funny, man.
My goat.
And then and we had PJ Tucker last year was a fucking whiner too.
I think PJ's worse than Kyle.
No, because Kyle, I think Kyle hurts because he's smaller. He's like a little kid, because Kyle will get knocked on the ground, and before he's even like ascertained that he just got hit, he's like, "Where's the call? Where's the call? I was right there. I was right there."
But PJ's like the fucking open mouth, hand over head. PJ was up there, bro. PJ's up there.
No, definitely PJ is up there.
PJ,
I mean, obviously
Kyle,
LeBron goes without saying.
I don't think
Hassan,
LeBron's
Dion.
in that tier though.
No, not in that tier, but he is a whiner. He was more selective. Like, I remember Coach Tony used to always say, "Yeah, well, LeBron only argues when he's got something to say, and he's right. He's always going to be right on those calls. He's very selective."
Fortunately, he's right. God, I miss him so much. God. Well, Justice never argued.
No, Justice did it.
Neither did Jimmy.
Dion definitely fucking argued a lot.
Yeah, Dion was like Project Dwayne. Yeah, no. Jimmy is actually the anti-Dwayne. Does not argue.
He just hustles back.
He's just, fuck. It has to be like really bad.
It's so funny that they're like so close, because they really aren't that similar. Like, we love them, but their play styles
more UD, and that might be why they get along.
I think so. The respect is there, and Dwayne was so washed by the time he got to Chicago. Like, that's where he really took a drop off.
Call him Dwayne.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade. I love when they traded for him. Pat said, "You had your last pancake.
You've had your last pancakes, fat boy." What a classic. Chat says Jimmy's just like, "Yeah, I laid him out. Fair enough." Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Jimmy also doesn't foul. Like, Jimmy has one foul.
Bro, that's
a game.
the other thing. Jimmy plays like fucking 40 minutes and you look 1 foul, 0 turnovers. How?
I was when they were doing the hack and Mitch, I was looking for like, who are they going to use to foul, and I'm like, why are you using Jimmy? I'm like, oh, Jimmy called for his second foul. And I was like, oh, okay, that's why. I forgot about that.
It's fucking. Frankie, as we head out here, not the show I thought we'd do, facing a game 6 at home that is very important. It can't lose this game, but
nah,
I don't know. It feels there's a certain air in here, certain feels. So the Sixers lost, right?
Yeah, Sixers lost. I definitely think, like, to touch on that, I do think, it's okay for us to be lackadaisical about it, but the Heat need some urgency on this one. They have to come with that same kind of urgency like in Game 5, when they had against the Bucks, they had an opportunity. They fell behind early, and as soon as Milwaukee took the foot off the gas, they went and snatched it.
The
They didn't
Sixers
do
scored
that.
86 American points in an NBA playoff game in 2023?
No, and it was like 79-79. Like it was right there.
Dog, what? Hold up. When was the? Is that the lowest? Okay, so the Sixers. I'm gonna do something live on air. The Sixers had 86 today. The last team that scored under 90 was also the Sixers in game 2. We got Phoenix had one in here. So twice Phoenix, twice Philly, once Phoenix. That's crazy. Is that it? That might, the Grizzlies once. And that's it. That's insane. What a bunch of fucking losers.
Bozos.
What a bunch
Hate
of
that
bozos.
city.
I think Cleveland did. Oh yeah, Cleveland had 79. Jesus Christ, bro.
Mobley's a fraud. Jared Allen is a joke.
Bro, what a bunch of fucking babies. Well,
I fucking hate Jared Allen. I'm
No,
so
there's-
glad Bam punched him in the face.
so glad. Long live Bam. So we'll see you tomorrow for pre-gaming and hangover time. Hopefully a closeout game. Hopefully all Brass's production work won't go to waste. He may kill somebody. Listen, I worry.
Get it!
Get it! I don't.
Fuck, funny.
I don't think you guys understand how funny. I'm gonna take you behind the scenes right before we get out of here. Before a hangover time, Brass is at his most stressed. But where's
Oh
it?
my God.
Why? What? Bond, can you hear Bond? Oh, Bond leaves because her internet's fucked up. Oh God. G, stop fucking around. G, stop. Where the fuck is Alf? Alf comes in. Hello, can you hear me? Adjusting headphone. Brass. Yeah, I can hear you. Alf. Oh fuck. And then he fucking fiddles, and then he's like, "Oh god damn it, Tiff, y'all can hear me?" And Brass is like, "Yeah, we're good, Tiff," because Tiff is the only motherfucker Brass respects around here. Bond comes back, then Brass, "Where the fuck is Kenny? Somebody message Kenny." Kenny comes in, fucking glitching out. Brass, "Fuck it, just go live, just go live." It's so funny. You guys don't understand. He's at his most stressed, and then right before he hits live, he goes, "Have a good show."
He does all
It's
the time.
so funny. I love that guy. Brass is the best. Tune in to Hangover Time tomorrow. Tune in to pregame tomorrow as we bring you some Game 6 Friday coverage. Hoping it's a win. Cat on screen. We love y'all.
Peace.
Jimmy and 5.
We call her Big Purr.